Well, I'm streaming. Sorry, I should have been saying something. Um, you know what? I want to go back and uh, put in. Hey, Alan, what's going on? Hello, all. Is you're all so far? You're it. Um, I want to. Sorry, I want to go back and look. What was it? What was? Forget the songs we did now. Because I. Okay, free falling. That was number one. Let me put number one here just for sake. Ah, there we go. Number one. All right. Number two, we did an electric song. Okay, what was that? That wasn't Roxanne because I remember I changed. That was number four. So I have to delete that. Remove. And I don't have any of the graphics. Oh, I know. It was, hey, Sco. Dazed and Confused. Super easy. Great, easy first song for beginners. If you want to start teaching guitar lessons, you know, this is actually a really good series we're doing. Oops, number two. So really, oh no, okay, whatever. I'm doing this all wrong. Mystery song number two. Dazed and Confused. Really good series if you're thinking about starting to teach lessons. It's a great way to make money and have a guitar in your hands at the same time. It was kind of one of my axioms in life. Where's the? How do I adjust the size here? Come on. I'll make this a lot smaller. It's a clown show today. Oh, what are you doing? Why are you getting bigger? I didn't do that. Oh my gosh. It's literally a what? It's literally a clown show. Can I start over? Oh my gosh. Where is the little middle thing? See, I need to adjust the size. I can't do it. It won't let me. There it is. Okay, I want you a lot smaller. How hard is this? Wow, this is really not worth it. What the heck? It won't let me adjust the size in the window where you create this. Okay, so this was mystery song number two. Wow, that was a lot of work. Mystery song number three was not Roxanne. See this? I want to fix these. Where's that? Okay, but I can't. If I type in that, it'll change all the ones so I have to actually delete this and create a new one. Oh, and you've got to hide your love away. That was number three. So just got to do one more here. Text. Mystery song. Three. And there's if you play a game of I Spy, you might actually be able to figure out today's song. All right. And I didn't really decide on it until yesterday. I did it last night. I did the work for it. The work for you guys that I have to do. You've got to hide your love away. Long title. One of the longest titles in music. And this one's also going to be very difficult to resize because it's so long. It's like, oh my gosh. Okay. So, clown show here, man. Tell you what. See what I'm talking about? I keep doing that. All right, so I'm all caught up here. So we had the first one was Free Falling, great song. And again, I'm trying to keep these very simple for several reasons. One, we've got wide disparity of abilities here, and I don't want to alienate the beginners and the pros here. Probably not sitting here watching me talk for 2 hours. The intermediates, I'm trying to also make sure that there's some meat on the bone for everyone. And so I'm trying to talk about maybe some of the theory, some of the history of the song, or some of the guitar techniques or whatever involved, if I can, if I know them, or imagine them. But also songs that you can play in like at a campfire. I mean, I don't know if you want to do Dazed and Confused. That would be kind of weird, but it could be fun if you got someone who's got the confidence to sing sing like Robert Plant at a campfire. You might have other people calling the cops next door, but okay, so Dazed and Confused was the second one. Third one was You've Got to Hide Your Love Away, which is a great Beatles one. I don't think most people know the lyrics to this, so might not be a great one for campfires. The older songs get, the less people know them because we start dying off. Hey, Bruce. Hey, Dennis. Hey, Ollie. Thank you for being here. I've always got all of my... It's rare that we don't have all three of you here. Dennis had some conflicts. Holly can't do Tuesdays. Bruce did some traveling, so sorry I got my morning phlegm. I don't have COVID. Don't worry. Roxanne was last week. So I'm trying to alternate. Thank you, Joseph. Cheers. Thank you for the coffee. I'm trying to alternate between an acoustic song and an electric song. Granted, all of these can be played on acoustic or electric, so that's irrelevant as far as if you're going to be in a scenario playing them. Secondly, many of these may have acoustics on them as well as electrics, or electrics as well as acoustics. So I'm not saying it's a pure acoustic song. So disclaimer, whatever. You guys don't hold me to those kind of... Okay, so our mystery song here, Meat on the Bone. Yeah, that's kind of a saying, you get your mind out of the gutter. Are you 13, Dennis? I forget. In other words, I want you guys to... I want there to be something for everyone to learn something. And myself, I learn a lot as well when I teach. That's one of the best things about teaching is you learn a lot. I was hip to... generally when you hit a certain age, you hit 40, it's really difficult to stay up on the latest music trends. And I was still teaching when I was 40. I stopped teaching when I was about 50. So I taught from the age of 15 to the age of 50. And maybe even 35, and even in my 20s, because I was kind of a jazz snob, but I still taught lessons and kids would bring in bands and I'd be like, Chili Peppers, Red Hot Chili Peppers. What the heck is that? Who calls their band Red Hot Chili Peppers? And then I'm figuring out Red Hot Chili Pepper songs and digging it and then learning a lot and learning new songs and learning new harmony ideas and things like that. So yeah, it's hey John, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a while. Oh, well, I hope everything's that's going on is good. Busy with work or family stuff. Business is good, I hope. Hope lots of people are eating candy and having cavities, and you have to take them out. You got to fix those cavities. It's so weird, John. I got a text from my dentist office, and they said, "Oh, you want to schedule to get those fills done?" And I'm fills like fillings, or is that what you meant, or what? On your upper right, and I'm like, "Isn't the upper right where you said you wanted to do the bridge or the crown?" And I'm like, why would I get fillings on teeth you're just going to take out to make a crown? So I don't know. I haven't responded to it. It was a while ago. I haven't responded to it because Beth is on the verge of maybe going from subbing at a really good school to they may be hiring her, and that will come with insurance. And we haven't had dental insurance or any of that stuff for 20 years or more. And so it'd be nice. I mean, I've always gotten my teeth taken care of, but I've always had to pay for it myself, and I never had a problem with that. But now, I'm not talking about guitar at all, am I? This has nothing to do with the song. Well, everything I pretty much do has something to do with the song in an indirect way. Okay? Boy, that's a very obscure clue. Let me put it this way. Well, I might give it away, but everything I've done since 1983 is pretty much relevant to this song title. Like I said, if you just play a game of I Spy, you can figure the song out. Hey, Win, how's it going? I'm going to call you Win because that's the only part of your name I dare to try to pronounce. Or maybe it's probably Tet Nang Win. I'm guessing. But I don't care. If people ever get upset at me for mispronouncing their name, they can take a giant leap off a bridge. I'm not going to say Rodriguez when Walter's on. We were hanging out yesterday. In fact, yesterday was his last day at our church. He's no longer flying back for weekends to play from Nashville. He's staying in Nashville. So it was very sad. I was very bummed to have to play with him one last time because it's just we've been playing together for, I didn't realize it's been 17 years, but 17 years. Oh, you had a dream with me in it? Patient. That was a patient. Hey, if I'm ever in Louisville again, and I hope to be, but the people that hired me are no longer working for Muhammad Ali's foundation, so I doubt the new people even know who I am. But if I ever end up playing for their events again, I'll try to come and see you. Well, I was telling you something now. I forgot what it was. Oh, thank you. I'll grab Bruce. I'll grab that Discord link right now. Oh, and I got to change the name too. Boy, am I just off of it today? Oops. Let's see. Let me do this. Did you tell me to do that? Did you say that? I didn't catch that. Oh, and you're not getting ads because I didn't monetize. Okay, let me copy. It's just a comedy show today. I don't know how much those overlay ads, but I've been putting my. So I did a new video last week. Spent a lot of time on it, and of course it's got like 300 views. I spent hours on that stupid video. It was kind of a request video because I'd done one before, and it did, 1,100, 1,200 views. I don't know. I didn't forget. But I've been working on Apex Legends. Everybody take a sip for Apex. Hey, Barry. Hey, Steve. How's it going? Aslan's in the house. We got a quorum here. Tough weekend, Tom. No, just a sad weekend playing with Walter for the last time. I mean, we'll play together again, and I'm working. The thing is, he's doing the right thing in a lot of ways, not having to fly back and forth from Nashville to LA to play at a church. And he flies back here. He'll fly back here to work on a film. Like he does a lot of the Michael Giacchino scores. He did Frozen, for example. He did Spider-Man. He's on the new Batman that's coming out, The Batman. But he'll fly out for those because they pay really well, and the back end on them is phenomenal. I mean, you would do them for free on the front end, especially something like Frozen is just money. It's just a gift that keeps on giving. I wish I'd worked on it. Oh, dang. Oh, you're kidding, Joseph. That's awful. Well, Joseph, yeah. Do a GoFundMe. I hate that. That stinks. You do sign a waiver, don't you, when you go in? It's like, I'm going to make them sign a waiver. Okay, so anybody have any guesses? Oh, Fire and Rain. No. Okay, but do you spy something that's unusual in my room with me, near me? I mean, seriously. And, this song is, of the songs we've learned so far, this one's probably by far the most famous song. So only got 7 chords. Hey, Mike, what's going on? Mike H. Dang, Joseph, I'm so sorry that happened to you. That's awful. Oh, and and you had dental work, and they destroyed it because they were. Well, if the car accident wasn't your fault, go after the person who was. Yeah, no, my weekend wasn't tough. No, not. In fact, I slept hard like a rock. I went to bed early and slept hard, so I would say it actually was a pretty good weekend. But I just was thinking when I got on, I said I wanted to change these so I could always scroll back and say, what was the first one? Oh yeah, I wanted to have all these correct. See that now that it says what they were. And Dazed and Confused, I don't think we actually had any. I don't think I had any graphics, right? So song number 5. Okay. Yes, Renee, dude. Okay, so the I Spy clue is a 12-string capoed at the 7th fret. Renee nailed it. Did somebody say that before? And the other clue was that I've lived in California since 1983. So those are the only clues. Renee's pretty good. Oh, am I blocking? Oh, well, Dennis, we're not blocking my YouTube reward plaque. I'm blocking our YouTube report. Okay, well, let me see if I can fix this. Let's see. How do I? All right, there you go. This is your plaque. It's not my plaque. By myself, I would be a very lonely person doing this. Okay, so there's 2 sections to Hotel California. There's the verse and there's the chorus. The verse has 7 chords. The chorus has 5 chords. The key, where is Sam? Is Sam okay? Anybody know? Hey, Kathy, how's it going? Good to see you. The key is B minor, but interestingly, we talk about minor keys, okay? And I'll just keep the capo. So you don't need a 12-string. You just need a capo at the 7th fret, okay? So this is going to feel almost like you're playing a mandolin. It's really tight and close, okay? Now, that's what the 12-string player is playing. And I'm pretty sure it's an acoustic 12-string, but live, yeah, I think live he plays an acoustic 12-string. Yeah, it's a great song to learn. It's one of the most popular ones. People know the lyrics. Now, I won't know all the lyrics, so I'm not going to even attempt it. Or I may throw them up here so I have them when we're kind of learning it. But we're going to learn about the harmony, a little bit of theory. So a B minor scale, that's B Aeolian. In a diatonic, in all the diatonic modes, there's 3 different minor scales. There's Aeolian, don't worry, that's just, if you just say play a B minor scale, everybody's going to play an Aeolian scale. Okay? There won't be a quiz on this. However, this is more for the maybe more advanced players. It's not so, who already maybe know the song. So I was looking at this chord progression, and I'm going, what the heck key is this in? Ian Anderson from Jethro Tull said it was kind of like their song, some song from '69. And Don Felder said, I've never heard that song. I don't even know any Jethro Tull songs. And he did, and they toured with Jethro Tull in '72, but Felder wasn't in the band until '74. So Ian was joking, but sometimes people joke and they're not really joking because, Jethro Tull, made some money. I'm sure he's fine. Well, he just passed away, but, it's like there's not a record that's done better than, I think, the #1 selling record. If it's not Thriller, it's Eagles' Greatest Hits. And that doesn't include Hotel California. That's was released before Hotel California, I believe, because Hotel California is not on the Greatest Hits, which is crazy to think. I watched a documentary. There's a great documentary on the Eagles. I watched. It's a long documentary. I think it's 3 or 3.5 hours long, and I can't remember where I saw it. It was probably on Prime. But I love the story where they are living above, they're all struggling, living in LA. They are kind of the house band for the Troubadour. So they're getting to play with, all sorts of different people. James Taylor, Elton John comes into the Troubadour. I think Elton John's first show in America was at the Troubadour. My son's played at Troubadour. I've never played at the Troubadour. Alex, are you watching? He's always doing things I've never done, and I always point it out. And it all started when he was beating me at tennis, and I said, I never beat my dad at tennis. And then he started feeling bad, and then I came back and won. Sadly, the last time we played tennis, he beat me 6-0. And I try not to make excuses, but I tore my tennis elbow at the beginning, and I couldn't even barely hit the ball. And he tells me that every time I say, you beat me, it's like, it's fine. I got it out of the way. If I ever get back, and boy, tennis elbow takes, at my age, it takes forever to heal. If I ever get back, I know I can beat him. It's not going to be a problem. So, although, you saw them live 3 times. Yeah, I've never seen them. But they had a room above Jackson Browne, and Jackson Browne was writing Doctor My Eyes. And they would listen to him write, and it's a fascinating story to hear them. They learned how to write songs listening to Jackson Browne write Doctor My Eyes. He literally, they would hear it, 9 a.m. The tea would start boiling, whistling. He'd sit down at the piano, have his tea, and he'd start working on the song, and he'd play the verse 1,000 times, and he'd get to that chorus, and he'd try a million things until he got the right chorus. And I feel like that's exactly how, now, Don Felder wouldn't have been part, no, I don't think Don Felder would have been part of that. He wouldn't have been one of the people in that, because if he didn't join until 74, this would have been before Eagles were famous. So anyway, enough background. I've got a couple graphics. Let me pull up the Discord. Right. And I'm going to drop these in our Discord. There's the join link there for the Discord. Oh, Dennis, is there a reason? Is there a reason why it's called? I had some people join up. I had some people join up, or ask me, is this the right Discord? It doesn't say anything about Tom Strahle. It seemed funny to them. I'm like what's the peanut gallery or peanut? What's it called? I don't even know what it's called. But let's see, Tom's lesson plans PDFs. Okay, so if you want to print these up, I could drag these over now. Hold on, I got to put these in the right folder though, because these are going to be linked. Okay, and then this has to be downloads. Yep, there they are. All right, there's the chorus. We start, of course, with a verse. This is the verse. All right. So, oops, no. I'm trying to do everything with one hand here. All right. I'm going to drag these over to here. Okay. And hit return. Boom. Okay. So let me do this. Let's go here. This is the verse, right? Yep. Drag this in here. Here we go. Boom. There it is. So I worked on this last night. Try to make it as pretty. Dang, click on it. There we go. Try to make it as pretty as possible. Now the names I put up there are what they are, not what they look like. All right. Okay. I can do that. Such a boss, Bruce. I'm just going to put the name. I won't put the band. Now, I'm not going to get into the picking pattern because I haven't really seriously analyzed that. Okay? My point being, I don't want to get into the minutiae of that. The important thing here is the chords, okay? Yeah. I think I would know how to spell my state. All right. The important thing here is the chords, and these are pretty much what they play consistently through the verses. Okay. Now there's a couple little hammer-on things I'm going to show you, I mean, as far as the picking pattern, there is no. It's not like Dust in the Wind where it's the same pattern over and over and over again. Okay. It's kind of random. But it's funny because I think you would do that every time, you know, every time, some people, every time they play a C chord, they would do that hammer on. So it's all natural stuff. Yeah, I can't sing as high. Remember in the 70s and 80s, all the male singers sang so high. I'm going to get rid of a little bit of light here on the right. It's a little bit, there we go, that's better. These are all familiar chords for the most part. The only one might be the F7. Now, tell me, okay, the B minor looks like an E minor shape, right? It's an E minor shape. The F sharp 7. Yeah, it's a perfect fifth up. Yeah. Who asked me that? Was that John? Yeah, peanut H chord. I don't know if you want to change that, Dennis, to the Strahle group or something like that. Oh, I know what I was saying. I was saying people that are mad at me for mispronouncing their names can take a flying leap of a short peer, because no one pronounces my name right. So I've never ever had any. Oh, just once I had someone say, "Is Tom Strahle here?" I went, "How did you know how to pronounce that?" Because it's not we don't pronounce it correct anyway. So I don't even say my own name properly. But I'm not going to say Strahle. So it's not going to happen. So anyone who gets upset about their name being mispronounced is just looking for an excuse to have the upper emotional hand, and should be just laughed at and then walked away from. I mean, you know, I even don't like it when the newscasters say, you know, if they're Latino and they speak perfect, they've been born, raised here, you know, and then they say, the only thing they say, we had one was Minerva Perez, and she would say, Minerva Perez. The only time she sounded like she was from Mexico was when she said her name. And that, you know, I guess she's honoring her name, and I get that. But it just sounded funny. It just was like, it was very it's like, I don't even think about it. I was like, I just looked at her, oh, she's the newscaster. And all of a sudden, it's like, oh. So, any tips on time to lead, first time lead a full music ministry? Well, Bickle, if you're around in an hour, ask me again, okay? Because I want to spend time on this and not get too sidetracked. Kathy said they sang high because most were. Yeah, that's not what I meant when they said they sang high. No, I think part of it, the singing high thing, I just think it was to cut through the mix and energy. I don't know. It's always funny too because the bass player Timothy B. Schmidt, he's got the highest voice and he plays bass. I always think it's funny that oftentimes the singer with the highest voice is the guy that plays bass. But yeah, and you don't get offended by that, John. You're just like, yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. So the chords here are all really familiar shapes. Now, if you look closely, you can see little numbers. Those tell you the frets. If you see dotted lines, that means don't play that string. Okay. So, you know, I went to great, and I know they're not quite even and exact. You know, if anyone who's OCD is probably going, oh man, it's really impossible for me to. I'm doing that represents 8 different screen grabs of me futzing with basically Microsoft Word. It's pages, but it's the same kind of thing to create these graphics. So it's not a perfect system. It's not like I have a computer that does this or a software that does this. I do these by hand. Peter Cetera, oh my gosh, could sing so. And he played bass too, right? Right. Exactly. Renee, so let me just go back to the Aeolian thing, the B minor. Okay, you can play that with me. If you're hopefully you're capoed at the 7th fret, okay? But if you play the open bottom string, that's a B. Go up 2 frets, the 2nd fret. That's C sharp. And I'm a little out too. But to the 3rd fret up is D. then open E, then F sharp, then G. So that I'm 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, and then 0, 2. And that's a B minor. Sam is still not here. It's so funny. Oh no, Sam is here. Okay, Sam's gonna love this stuff. No, we're not gonna work on the solos. I've taught him before, but and it's another one of those lessons where I love teaching it because it took like 6 lessons. I knew what I was gonna do with that student for the next 6 lessons because they wanted to learn the Hotel California solo. So to be able to transcribe it and get them playing each section, it took 6 lessons, sometimes 8, depending on the student. Okay, so that's an Aeolian or just a pure minor. You know, if anyone says play a B minor scale, you know, that's what everybody's going to play. Sam would go, well, what would you mean Locrian or no, not no? Do you mean Phrygian or Dorian or Aeolian? That's what Sam would say. But everybody else would just play. Sam, I'm dissing you. Okay, so that's a B minor scale. All right. Now, the chords in B minor are in B minor are like B minor. The 1 chord is minor. Okay, the 2 chord is your half diminished chord. It's the equivalent of the 7 chord in a major key. So it's kind of that chord is a diminished chord, and we don't really. I mean, if I were using like in B minor and I wanted to have a C sharp and a bass, I'd probably play like A over C sharp. Like a D over F chord, sharp, you know, chord. But the next chord is D. The 3 chord is major, okay? The 4 chord is minor. Well, there's our E minor, okay? And we have a D in here, okay? The 5 chord is officially F minor, F sharp minor, okay? There's no F sharp minor in here. The 6th chord in the key of B minor is C. I'm sorry, not C. Is G. And the 7 chord is A. So we have a G and an A. So much of this progression is in B Aeolian. Somebody said, you know, what key is this song in? Okay, the B, the A was 1, the E minor, the G, and the D. So really, most of the chords, the only chords that aren't in this key would be E major and F sharp, 7, okay? And we're gonna need 2 different minor scales. So this is again, no quiz on this, so don't stress this. I'm just gonna teach this stuff to you. If you get it, because I've probably talked about it before and you didn't get it, this may be the time you do get it. So that's why I talk about these things, okay? And there's basically 3 minor, well, there's not basically, in any mode, there's 3 minor scales, okay? And I've showed you the Aeolian, okay? The Phrygian would be, instead of C sharp, it would be C natural, okay? It's kind of a cool sound, but there is no C chord in the song, so this note doesn't have, this scale doesn't come into play in Hotel California. But it's a cool scale. It's kind of got a mysterious kind of sound, which would actually go with the lyrics of Hotel California. And there's definitely a Spanish flamenco kind of vibe to this, because we're going to get to that. The other minor scale in the modes would be Dorian, and Dorian does come into play in this song. Technically, I don't want you to think, oh, we're going from B minor to B Dorian or anything like that when you're playing the song, but this is a way to maybe explain why these chords showed up. The E chord has a G sharp in it. Well, if we play that B minor scale, which is really easy to play, I could even use my first and second finger. So 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 3, 0, 2. If I raise the degree, the 6th note in the scale, they call it degree of the scale. If I raise the 6th note in the scale a half step, 1 fret up this way, then we're going to get a Dorian scale, okay? And that is taking that G to a G sharp. And this is what that sounds like. Okay? So if you did this kind of thing, that's kind of a Dorian thing, you know? that kind of has a very Dorian sound to it. But, so let's play it together. 0, 2, 3, 0, 2, 4, 0, 2. So backwards that'd be 2, 0, 4, 2, 0, 4, I'm sorry, 3, 2, yeah. So those are the minor tonalities, exactly right. Dorian, Phrygian, and Aeolian. Aeolian is the basic. Phrygian is the one that doesn't come into play here. And then Dorian actually does come into play. Okay, but they're all minor scales because they have, the one chord is a minor chord. I think so when he plays this B minor, he does that, right? It's all I'm doing is I'm playing the open third string and I'm putting on the second fret. So in this case, it's a D to E, but I don't hear that fourth string. I kind of do hear that. And it's a way to set up. When you go to the B7 shape, which is F sharp 7, notice I'm giving the names up there are the actual names of what chords you're playing. And you may go, well, that's a B7 chord. Yeah, but not capoed at the 7th fret. And so I want you to memorize these chord names for these shapes at this position. All right? It shouldn't confuse you when you play an open position, okay? But what this will allow you to do is, oh, at B minor, I can play B minor here and F7 there, and oh, A2 and then E and then G and D. You can use this to play without a capo. You just ignore the chord shapes and just play the names of the chords, okay? Because I've always been an advocate of not, when you capo, to go ahead and learn the chords you're actually playing. Because oftentimes it's not like you're having to relearn the instrument. It's just a few chords. In this case, it's 7 chords, so it's more than your average song. But it's not gonna, it's 7 chords you can memorize. Okay, hopefully. I mean, I'm getting old, but I'm not that old yet. But I can, I memorize 7 chord shapes. And there's a redundant one in the chorus. Okay, we use the same chords come into play, but there's only 5 of them, so we have even less chords. But there's no new chords in the chorus. So it's a total of, for the song, 7 chords: B minor, F sharp 7, A2, E, G, D, E minor, and F sharp 7 is twice in this scenario, in this thing. Okay, now there is another scale though another minor scale that comes into play, and it's also kind of a mysterious sounding scale, and it's B harmonic minor. That's how we get to that F sharp 7. See, in B minor, if the 5 chord, which 5-1 is the strongest cadence, it's the most common cadence. 5 to 1 in a pure minor key is a minor chord to another minor chord. There's not a lot of strong voice leading there, right? That's fine, it's final. But a B7 shape, in this case F sharp 7, there's a lot more tension there. We've got that A sharp that leads to the B. Yeah, it is hard to, yeah. It is difficult to play some of these. The E chord, which is the A shape, I tend to play with these 3 fingers here. When I play A in open position, I always use these 3 fingers because these fingers are fat, and it's even worse up here. The frets are pretty small. Now, you could totally play this song. Oh wait, this is a different capo. You could totally play this song down here. Just, you don't have to play with us. If it's easier for you to play in open position, just read the names of the chords. Don't worry about the shapes. Assuming you know all these chords. And if you don't, the only one you might not know would be F sharp 7, which is just second bar of the 2nd fret. Okay? And then play an F sharp major chord, but take off the pinky. It's kind of a hard chord. A cheater chord, not cheater because it's actually an F sharp 7, you could take this this like F major 7. We should learn Color My World. We should learn songs originally played on piano. If you take it up a fret, so if I play 4, 3, 2, open, that's F sharp 7 also. F sharp, A sharp, C sharp, and E. In fact, those are the notes in order. Which, that would be normally a hard chord to play on the guitar anywhere else. But in this position, it's great. One of my favorite chords to play just for fun, I think you'll like this one, but it's... So I'm playing an F sharp major, okay? And then, but I'm only getting this note. I'm not barring. So I've got the top 2 strings open. And that would be an F sharp 4, F sharp 7, add 4, or F sharp 4, 7, or I don't know. I don't really give it a name. It's rare I would ever see a chord like that on chart. It's usually something I would do for fun. So I might do something like... So I would take that little shape I showed you and take off the first finger and then add it again. And then if I really want to get mysterious, I open up the G string. So you get this. Isn't that great? So now I'm just playing an F sharp power chord and I'm leaving the top 3 strings open, or in my case, the top 6 strings. All right. 12-string players spend half their time tuning and half their time playing out of tune. Oh, okay. And thank you, Holly, for doing everybody for doing the paperwork. Hey, Craig, what's going on? Just joined. Great channel, but I have never liked the Eagles or Hotel California much as I tried. I understand. It's a very overplayed song. It's kind of a creepy song, too. Beth and I just stayed at the Hotel California in Santa Barbara. I don't know if it's the one. They're not referencing that one. And I do have a weird, who's the Aleister Crowley? I have a weird Aleister Crowley story. I don't know. I don't know if I can share it or not. It does. It sounds like a sitar, doesn't it? But hey, Craig, stick around anyway because you're going to learn stuff. You're going to learn stuff anyway. And you know what? Even if you don't like the song, how many times have I played a song that I didn't like, but everybody else did? And I'm not, I'm kind of done with Hotel California. I'm like, if I hear it on the radio, I change channels. I've heard it enough. Kind of one of those things. Like, okay, I want to hear something different or new or something. Hey, Paul. Okay, you're working and lurking. That's totally fine. So I'm capoed back at the 7th fret. And and it was pointed out it was up a 5th, and so we're up a perfect 5th, and the great thing about this is that also this is a high song. You don't have to be high to sing it, but it's high. So I could maybe on a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair. I could probably sing it. One smell of colitas rising up in the air. I don't know the words very well. I saw a shimmering light. My heart grew heavy and I had to stop for the night. And you could probably write a dissertation on why this song got so big. I mean, it's a long song. It's got a really long guitar solo on it. It's kind of a boring melody, to be honest. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair. It's very neighboring Tony, right? All the melody, if we were to map it out, is probably just, it really... It's all, you can almost play it on one string with one finger, no problem, okay? Bring that hammer. It is. Actually, Steve Barry makes a great point, and that is, this is another way to start seeing chord cage shapes. Is every cage shape referenced here? Oh my gosh. No, not the E form, but we have the A form. So C form is there. That's a G chord. there's A, D, kind of. I got the A2. For some reason, they didn't play the C sharp on top. They really played that open. I'm not sure because he's not playing the fifth, the third, and the bass. He doesn't even do that. He doesn't even add it. You know how like James Taylor would totally have done. If it was a James Taylor song, it would have done that hammer on there. But there's an A shape. Let's see, C, cage, A, G. Yeah, G's in here. E, E's the only one not in there. So that's a great observation. So again, use this chart in this song to help you learn another position of caged shapes for soloing and for finding new ideas for for playing rhythm and stuff like that. Hey, Larry, good to see you. Trying to keep up on everybody jumping in here. I'm getting texts. Hold on a second. Is war over? Is that what I just heard? Oh no. I'm like, what? Sorry, I try not to. Oh, nice. Okay, sorry. Family text for thread. You know how that is. Okay, sorry. That's not. It's not very nice of me to do that. Okay, so all right. So back to talking about. Let me get my screens in order here. Boom, and then here. All right. So harmonic minor is how we get to that F sharp 7. So here's what a harmonic minor is. B minor again was B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. Don't worry, no quiz on this. Take a sip, no quiz on this. But we take that 7th degree up a half step. Remember when we took the 6th degree up a half step? Okay, we're going to leave the 6th degree where it was. We're going to go that open 4th string, we're going to take it up a fret and play the 1st fret and the 2nd. And that's harmonic minor. And what that allows for is that allows us to have a major 5 chord. So we have a much stronger 5-1 resolution. And you don't have to make it a 7th. You can make it a pure, oops, like that. Gosh, why do I keep doing major? Sorry. Who's the teacher and who's the student? Okay. See, I don't know that. I even hear at one point. And I definitely hear this note, this piece of. Okay, so let's go over these chords. B minor is just your 2nd and 3rd finger at the 2nd fret on the 5th and 4th string. Okay. And then F sharp 7 was don't play the bottom string, 2nd fret, 1st fret, 2nd fret, open, 2nd fret, and I'm going to use all 4 fingers for this. And this was maybe a tough one for the capo if you have a giant capo or something. I don't know. I can kind of get my hand over this, no problem. Hey! Bada, 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 bada. Yeah, 12 string sounds so good, doesn't it? I love the sound of a 12 string. It was my 2nd guitar as a kid. I bought one. I started playing guitar when I was 9. I got a 12 string when I was 11. Sadly, I got a very cheap one. You know, it was one my parents could afford, and that's what I wanted for my birthday. And so it was like a $100 K one, and it just the neck wasn't very good. And so the great thing about Taylors is, I think Bob Taylor says they literally start with a neck. Like the neck has to be right, and then they build a guitar around that. So they want playable guitars, and all Taylors play great. So. And then A2, so play a D shape and take off your second finger, and that's our A2 chord. A2 Brutus. And we could talk a little bit about the picking thing. I think they're using a pick. I don't think it's fingers. Maybe fingers, but John Denver would use steel finger picks on a 12-string. That's a skill. That's a mad skill. I tried when I was a kid. That was kind of how you had to play 12-string. That's how they said. Now, another reason why I almost quit playing guitar, because I was like, I can't do this. If I can find, I need one more finger pick. I've got lots of thumb picks. Oh, there's another finger pick. Okay, so let me try this. I haven't done this in years. Okay, there's the first finger. This one's small. Put this on the third finger. This one can go on my middle. That one's kind of small too. I think I'll switch these two. I only pretty much use finger picks for like dobro and banjo. Sometimes I'll get a thumb pick out, not usually a metal one though. And you want to put them like this. When I first got it, I thought, oh, I want a nail. You put a finger pick on like that, and it's like almost impossible to play guitar. It's like, how do they do this? I was like baffled, you know, when you learn something wrong with it. But in Hotel California, you may have done this because he's a banjo player. Don Fedler's a great banjo. And also, so we did the A chord, right? The D shape, take off the first finger. Or I'm sorry, take off the, I'm not going to isolate it, but this finger. If I isolate that finger, I'm going to have to put it not appropriate for children. Okay. And then we go to the A shape, okay? And the A shape, again, I play it like this. You can play it like this. You can play it like this. Some people can play it like this and keep the open string, you know, bend your first finger back. And that's also fine. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care. Some people play it like this. A lot of people in the 60s learned to play A like this. So it's second finger, first finger, third finger. And it makes it really easy to go like to D7. Why you would go from A major to D7, I'm not sure, but there's A major 7, you know. So it's like playing A major 7, slide the finger up. And again, I know this is E. This is an E chord, actually, okay? Or if you want to play it like the flamenco players play it, this is, and when I'm playing flamenco, I play it like this. Bar the fourth and third string with this first finger, and then second finger gets the second string, and that might be easier too. The reason is, I think, is to keep those two fingers available for that kind of very harmonic minor kind of sound that is so common in flamenco music. Okay. Am I getting? Yeah, it's just a great song for people with little hands. You don't have to have a 12-string. You can do this on a 6-string. You can do it on an electric or whatever. I wouldn't be surprised. I didn't listen to it close enough to it, but I've heard it a billion times. But I wouldn't be surprised if Don Felder's is using. I'll try to find a video and see if I can see him playing with finger picks. But you can kind of get that sound. I don't think he's using any. What am I doing? Here we go. He's using any two strings. Like, he's not doing like a. He's plucking two strings at a time. With 12 string, it's 4 strings at a time. I don't think he's doing anything like that. It sounds like to me I can hear everything individually. It's like individual. Okay, so now we get the C shape, which is a G chord up here. Okay. And so what we're going to do to get that little lick that he does there at the end of the bar, okay, is just take off your second finger, play that string, and hammer on, and then hit the next string. So I'm on the 4th string, open, hammer on the second finger, hit the 3rd string. very common lick. Almost hard not to do when you play a C shape, okay? And yet it really serves, it propels, to me, it really is perfect in that use though. It kind of breaks up that C chord, because again, these are an entire bar of dark desert highway. You know, what's that tempo, like 80, 84? It's probably on the wiki page. Let's see if I have the wiki page. Tempo. No tempo, Mark. What does it say? Do they have BPM? Somebody look up the BPM of Hotel California. I mean, I don't know. It's a slow. It's not a ballad, but it's a slow pace, which means a bar of each of these chords can kind of seem like an eternity. Yeah, totally. Okay, so let's get to the G shape, the D chord. It's a D chord, but it's a G shape, all right? That one is, I'm pretty sure he's playing old school. He's got that B string open, all right? So I'm playing it like this. You can play it like this. If we're coming from this C shape, it just makes sense to play it like this. So you're doing... I'm sure I hear that F sharp in there. So this is a D chord, but it looks like a G chord, okay? Third fret with the third finger on the bottom string, then second fret with the second finger on the fifth string, and then on the top string, pinky, on the same third fret as your third finger is, okay? Maybe the first G chord you learned, you may have learned it with these three fingers. You're totally fine doing it that way. The only thing is coming from this chord is actually really easy, because all you're doing is from the C shape, you're just bopping these two fingers up one string and then adding the pinky and taking off the first. And if you leave the first on, you get a G sus, but actually you've got that B in there, or in this case it's a F sharp. That wouldn't work. But that's probably what he's playing. And then pure A minor shape, which is E minor. Oh, 75. So it is really slow. Yeah. Thank you. BPM 147. Oh, that's the eighth note. So there's the quarter note. Cool wind in my hair. Now, if they've got a click in their ear, they might have the eighth note. In my hair. Sometimes, if a song is really slow, you'll have an eighth note click instead of a quarter note click. Because a quarter note click at a slow tempo leaves too much interpretation of when the next beat is. You're going to have people that are early and people that are late and people that are right on it. And so if you throw in an eighth note click, people are more likely to be able to, okay, I hear the subdivisions, okay, I feel it now. It takes a minute. But slower tempos, yeah. So 147 would be 174 and a half, right? This doubled. So that's why it's saying 74 or 75. Because a lot of metronomes don't do 0.5. No, you're right, Joseph. You're good. You don't need to look in. Actually, 174 and a half would be 149. So if it's legitimately 147, then it really is 73 and a half. If I'm doing my math right. Okay. So who else is here? Paul. Oh, Paul. Hey, first time using capo mid-neck. My cheap guitar needs help. It's buzzing out. Yeah. Yeah, that's hard. Yeah, definitely. Definitely if your neck is not happening, okay? So, again, once you get going, on this song, let's see. I want to try to find a lyric page. There we go. Or I could just get the lyrics to it. Here we go. Can I read that? Oh, there we go. that's really hard to read. All right, kind of. So it's, I think both times it's a double. So, highway, cool wind in my hair. You can play along if you can. Rising up to the air, up ahead in the distance, I saw a shimmering light. My heart grew heavy and my sight grew dim. I had to stop for the night. And then it does another verse. So a verse is 8 bars, and then the second verse is another 8 bars. That's 16 bars. But at that tempo, it takes a while. You know, today's songs probably would be already in the pre-chorus. There is no pre-chorus on the song. It's verse, chorus, that's it. One thing we'll talk about, okay, let's talk about the numbers of these chords. So this is the 1 chord, this is the 5 chord, this is the major 3, I'm sorry, major 7, this would be the major 4, then it goes to the major 6, and then it goes to the major 3, and then it goes to the minor 6, and then it goes to the 5, 7 again. So let me just write that out here in the text. Or just this is how you might see it in a Nashville. Although this is, I'm going to use Roman numerals. So we have that. We have a 5, 7. Then we have, what did I say? 7 major 7. Now see, I see major 7. I think I need to see flat major. Now I don't know. Maybe that, and then it goes to major 4. Then it goes to major 6, and then it goes to major 3. It's a lot of major chords, right? And then it goes to minor 4, and then it goes back to 5, 7. And so that's what it looks like if you were to kind of think. And it's not really a circle of fifths, right? Because we're moving. We're kind of moving. I don't want to get too wrapped up in the minutiae here, but this is a fifth. Okay. And then this is, we're going up a third, and then we're going down, we're going up a fifth here, then we're going up a third, and then up a fifth, and we're going up a second, and up another second. So it's not really, I wouldn't say there was any math origin in this. I would say it was just, he just thought it was a cool chord progression. I'm not sure, I'm sure he's talked about it, how he wrote it. It's one of the biggest songs ever. So, thank you, Dennis, for taking care of the bots. Oh, good. Yeah, so like I said, sometimes if a tempo is really slow, they'll say, oh, the tempo is 174 or whatever. On a dark desert highway, but cool wind in my hair. No, it's on a dark desert highway. I mean, at any point does it go to a standard 4 groove at that tempo? On a dark desert highway. It never does. So it's not, yeah. So 174 would be the 8th note. But again, some people want that 8th note pulse. So that's why. In fact, when I'm writing pop songs, kids are always like, I want it between 150 and 180, and I'm like, you mean 75? You really don't want me to send you a song in 180. It'd be like a fast bluegrass thing. Not quite bebop speed. Like bebop can be like 300 plus, which is insanity. Remember, I created my Tomney book because I couldn't afford the Parker Omni book. It was $20, and I didn't have $20. So I started transcribing Charlie Parker songs, but I did it wrong. I did it at the wrong. I thought that I thought it was 1, 2, 3. But so I got like a ton of 16th notes, 16th note triplets. I have 32nd notes. I'm like, dang. But it was really, right? Yeah, B minor is the 1 chord. Exactly right. Yeah. We're in the key of B minor. Yeah, Charlie Parker on a 12 string. Donna Lee up a fifth. It sounds great. My brain can't work that way anymore. All right. Yeah, so yeah, the slower tempo is right, but again, when you have a metronome going click, 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 it almost sounds like click, click. It's like, when is the next click? So a lot of people prefer click, 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 click on a dark desert highway. Okay, so that explains that. All right, so yeah, we're in a key B minor. We got the 5 chord, we've got the 7 chord, then we have a major 4 chord, and then we have the naturally occurring. You know, some of these chords, like I said before, the B minor, the A2, the G, the D, and the E minor are all naturally occurring chords in the key of B minor, or B Aeolian, to be specific. Oh, I have it written as a minor second on the progression. Oh, you're right. Sorry. I hit the I twice. Okay, so I'm correcting it. My bad, Sam. Thank you, Sam, for catching my mistakes. I'm sorry. Steve Martin. I love that bit. All I asked for was a blue spot. You can't give me a blue spot? All right. I think that's right now. Okay, so that's the progression. If you want to copy and paste that, you can, or copy that down. Okay, now let's get to the, I'll keep this on here so I don't have to go find it again, but I'll make it really small. Okay, so that's the verse. And the chorus is the same chord. So once you have the verse down, you got the chorus down. That's another reason why the song is, I think, you know, one thing that tends to make songs popular, I believe, is that if they're easy to play on guitar or piano. Because what happens is you have people that, you know, will sit down at a piano and play a Coldplay song. And people will go, what song is that? Oh, it's, you know, Clocks, you know, by Clock, whatever that song, Clocks, is it called Clocks? So here's the chorus. Starts with a major chord, G major, and it has the F sharp twice. And we're gonna talk about that climbing B minor thing too. So we're gonna work on that an hour into the lesson. And I apologize to anyone who thought it was gonna be just about guitar. I apologize. I lose subscribers every time I live stream because people are like, this is not what I signed up. Hey, Quail Studios, what's going on? And Mamba's in the house. I guess 10 o'clock is the right time to start this. I should probably start at 10 instead of 9, right? So we have Welcome to Hotel California. Sets up that 5 chord sets up back to the verse, okay? So the chords here are the G. I'm going to call them what they are. D, F sharp, 7, B minor. We're going to do that. I don't know. You can do it a million different ways. But it's fun to put in there. You don't need to. You can sit on B minor the whole time. It totally works if you. Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place. Such a lovely place. At the Hotel California. Anytime you can find it here. Okay, so you don't need that, but boy, does it, you miss it when it's not there. When I played it, it was like really hard just to sit on that B minor chord. Okay, so here's the G chord, C shape. Okay, again, was it Steve that pointed out that this is a good way to kind of hammer home some of the caged method shapes up the neck, okay? So that's a C shape, but it's really a G chord. Here's a G shape, but it's really a D chord. And I'm playing it kind of old school. I've got that B string open. And I think, welcome to from picking to strumming. I think it gives you some dynamic change and nuance from the verse to the chorus. So in the verses, if you want, and at one note on that picking pattern, it does feel like it's consistently kind of doing this thing where it's bloom, blah, 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 bloom, strum, bloom, blah, 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 bloom, strum. This is for Holly. Bloom, 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 strum. It's kind of like that vibe. So if you kind of want to pick at it like that. Again, I don't think there's any one pattern that I can point to and say this is how it's done. And if I were to transcribe it note for note how he did it, we would get wrapped up in the minutia and you would never get the song down because you'd be so first, oh, shoot, dang it, I have to hit the G string, not the D string on it. You know, it's like, no, don't worry about it. Just, you can just, on a dark desert highway, you can just play the chords. You don't need to pick them or anything like that. And then if you want to, you can start picking at them. If that makes sense, okay? On the chorus, so we're playing the C shape, G shape, and then we go to the B7 shape, which is F sharp 7. Okay, and then we go to the B minor. And this is where that climb happens. And the climb happens, again, it really kind of points out the tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. Okay, so play that with me. Play bottom, string open, okay? Then play the 2nd fret, 3rd fret, and then next string open, 2nd fret. And then go ahead and resolve it, finish it out, okay? So the lick goes into the next bar. So we're gonna play 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. You can even count like that. I'll go slower. 3, wow, how do I go slower? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. In the Hotel California. Any time of year. At some point, somebody does that, and I love that. You can do that to any 7th chord. You can always climb up to a 7th chord like that. It almost always it doesn't always work in every genre of music. Like pop, it wouldn't work. Also, this is not an unusual pop chord progression. Okay, a lot of pop. Or we also have 3 of the 4 chords in creep. We just don't have the minor. We don't have that minor chord there, but a minor 4. Okay, now, so let's do that climb again. Okay, so it's B minor. My 2nd finger is right there. So do that now. Go B minor and then just hit that. You can hit all the strings. Doesn't matter. I don't care if you even hear the A string. Doesn't matter. I like the sound of that. That's cool. That's where it's going to get a little tough. Now, John Lennon, when he played that, was it D over C like that, right? We were talking about how you gotta hide your love away, something like that. It's like, whoa! I never thought about doing it like that. It's kind of hard, but anyway. So this one, if you're playing B minor with these 2 fingers, which you probably wouldn't be. Let's see, context. Now, coming from this chord, you're probably just going to go to B minor like this, which is fine. And again, you just have to get that note for a second, and I wouldn't worry about having this finger here, like continuing the B minor thing. You can just do that. So I'm just playing the A string open, and then the 2nd fret leading to the C shape, which is the G chord. But you can play. It can be sloppy. You can have, hey BMO. You can have other strings ring out when you do that climb on the 4th string. Yeah, because that's what I hear them doing. I'm hearing like other strings. I'm not hearing just trying to keep that B minor going. You see, if I do that, watch. I'm playing this, and I got my 3rd finger left over from the B minor chord. I'm strumming from the 5th string down, and I'm putting that finger down. Well, now I got to quickly get to this C shape, and so my 3rd finger's in the wrong position, and I just don't think they're doing that. I think I'm hearing like, right? I'm hearing more of I'm almost hearing like they're going from a G shape to a C shape, right? So we get. So if you want to keep the the B minor sound going, just take your hand off and go, okay? But you can, right? All right. So you don't. Trust me, guitar players are really lazy. We're not going to go to extreme lengths to make something perfect. The weird idiosyncrasies often are a byproduct of just going, that's good enough. And it creates the vibe. If I were perfect on this, it wouldn't have as much vibe. Especially since I got to put a big gap in between here and here. Because you can't, unlike piano where I can hit a pedal and it'll hold the chords while I get my hands over the next chord, guitar you can't do that. You have to make chords individually. So you got to take a second. My little giggle makes you laugh. I work really hard at being charming, Kathy. Okay. At the Hotel California. Any time of year. Find it here. Now I'm like, wait, is Hotel California, is that the one we went to? That can't be. No. I mean, this one sounds like it's out in the desert. It's like a mirage. It's not a real place, right? Proposed film adaptation. Oh, interesting. Yeah, they could make a film of this. I mean, their films, well, horror films are almost all this. It's kind of, let's see. Yeah, there's a Hotel California in Santa Barbara. We stayed there, and but I don't think it's the one referenced to in this song. I don't. Oh, you know what? You know a good source for this kind of stuff? Songfacts.com. They tell you it has all the quotes. You know, they collect all the quotes from different things. Oops. There it is. Written by Don Felder, Glenn Fry, and Don Henley. The song was about materialism and excess, yeah. And thus created the most money for any artist ever. Is allowed them to have, you know, song about a journey from innocence to experience. Okay, that's another interpretation, he said. Yeah, Joe Walsh came from New Jersey. I didn't know that. It totally seems like someone from New Jersey, doesn't he? Anyway, well, you can read it. Like songfacts.com is a great website for finding out about sometimes who wrote the song or who, you know, what the lyrics are about. If you're like, what are the lyrics about? So there's the song facts for Hotel California. If you're curious. But it's a great website for other things. Okay, so for other songs. So that's kind of the climb. So that the hard thing might be, yeah, AJ, I agree. I think you could interpret it that way too. Okay. Yeah, so use that 4 and 1 as a big setup for the G chord, which is the C shape here, okay? The hard thing might be getting that note there. That may be the hardest moment of the whole song. Oops. any time of year, any time of year. Yeah, I do too. I always thought it was this Don, but it has three. It says 3 writers on it, and Joe Walsh was in the band at this point. See, he wasn't. This was the first record he was on, I think, right? And so that it's him and Felder going back and forth on the solos, and you can really tell who's who. I mean, you can tell when it changes guitar play because the tone changes, but also the style of play. It's a great lesson. Listening to the solo. I mean, if you haven't ever noticed it before, you know, and I'm sure you have, but if you haven't, listen and go. When does the guitar player change? They make it pretty obvious because the tone changes. But also the approach to the chord progression changes, and the solo is over the verse chords. Okay, it's over these chords. So you know, I think, right? Yeah. So you really have to think about it. I mean, I could teach an entire semester course on soloing over this chord progression, and all sorts of different approaches to it, and how to. Sometimes when you're soloing over a complex chord progression, you can overthink and play things that are too, you know, like kind of. I'm changing guitars so we can all take a sip. It's one of our drinking game rules. If I change guitars, we take a sip. What do I want? Where's Logic? Here's Logic. Let's see if I can. Oh. I have to restart Logic. One of those things. I don't know if it's going to let me. Oh, there it goes. Let's see. Where's Logic? There we go. Come on. Logic's having issues. There we go. Okay. Like I said, I've taught this lesson a few times. I mean, this solo a few times. I'm sure I'll think of it, but. Sorry about the popping. Oh my gosh, stop it. Audio. All right. No, I got the wrong. Oh, because I have to turn this on. I'm going to turn this down, though. So, I'll show you, like, I don't have the chord progression here, but, I mean, I could play it in, I suppose. What am I looking for? Guitar rig. So this is guitar rig. I'm just going to pull up the 80s rock sound. Let's see, like 80s guitar solo sound. Pretty hot. I could pull that back a little bit. Less dry. Now, so if we look at the chord progression, you know, if I were to play shoot, dang it, I did this wrong. Okay. And this, okay. We got B minor. I'm looking at the verse changes here, okay? So the one's down right here. It's really hard to point there. There we go. I guess I can point there with this hand. Here we go. So, you know, you got me, and then the fun thing to play over is that 5/7. It's kind of hard to not go gothic on this, you know, because that harmonic minor. So. Now, one of the things that you notice, like on the E chord, you can go to a dominant seventh kind of sound because there's a D in the G chord coming up. So, you know, and then when I'm on the G, and but another thing you can do is like, if we look at like one note, you can kind of center it around, you know, more like a. You can center it more around, and I think that's what kind of, I don't remember if it's Joe or Don that centers it more around kind of a blues B pentatonic. So. You know, and you can just touch on the notes. Like if we look at the B minor chord, you know, the third of B minor is D. The third of the F sharp 7 is that A sharp, which is that really kind of haunting chord. Is that haunting sound? It's one you probably want to maybe allude to. And then the A2, over the A2, we got the A2 has a B in it also. So again, you can play off that B, and then the E chord comes up, and the thing you might want to allude to there is the G sharp, which is out of the B minor key, but it also has a B. It also has a B in it. Okay, and then the G chord also has a B in it. And so then we get back to we go to a D chord, and then the E minor also has a B in it. So there's a lot of B's in here. And so you could almost get away with. You could almost play B all the way through. You could do a solo that would be like a very Lindsey Buckingham thing, like. Over the G chord, and over the D maybe. And then over the E minor, you go back. I mean, you could literally play a B almost all the way through this chord progression, and it would kind of sound cool, making subtle little changes. And that's the same thing with the B minor pentatonic, which is right there where our capo is. So if you were to play E minor open pentatonic, if you make subtle changes in that, I can play like a kind of a classic rock song in B minor, which may be what Felder's doing. Sorry, got something on my eye. And make a subtle change every now and then to allude to the chord that maybe is different than standard deep B minor chord progression. Right? So yeah, I'm really sticking around that B minor scale, and I didn't mean to get off on a tangent of teaching how to solo over this chord progression. But you could literally, like I said, I could teach a whole semester on this, you know, like like a 16-week course where every week you would maybe apply a different approach to the song. I could approach it with just the B string. That's a great way to solo, by the way, is to try to do a solo only on one string. It really gets you out of your habits and your crutches and stuff like that. But if I were to do the B string, like I said, there's almost a B note in every one of these things. So I go. And it just forces you to get out of that, you know, box shape thinking. Makes you think up and down the neck. And you could do that with every single string. You could go, okay, I'm only going to play on the D string. Or you could maybe go, oh, I'm only going to play on a D string and on a B string. So you might, hey, Bob, good to see you. And Gary, good to see you too. BMO is in the house too. Did I say hi to you, AJ? I think I referenced you, but I don't know that I said hi. So the cool thing about this song, though, is really, and there are no lyrics. It fades out on the guitar solo, does it not? Everybody take a sip. I'm changing guitars again. That's one of our drinking game rules. Not a shot, just a sip. You can have a shot there, but just take a sip of your shot. We're doing sips, okay? This is not a hardcore drinking game because otherwise I don't except for Dennis. He can handle it. Dennis can handle it. But the cool thing about it, it's really just two sections. So, you know, once you get the chord progression down for the chorus, and to me, my opinion, the hardest thing to do is to remember it. You can strum it any way you want. Go to the chorus. And okay, one thing is really great. Okay, so that F sharp 7 leads great to the B minor, right? We talked about it. The F sharp 7 is the 5 of the 1 B minor. Right? In fact, a really common flamenco progression would be B minor, A, right? Same as Walk Don't Run by, you know, there's a lot of songs that use that. Walk Don't Run by The Ventures, Stray Cat Strut by Stray Cats. The band who named their first hit after themselves, okay? So it's very common to, you know, play 1 7 6 5, okay, in a minor key. All right, but that F sharp 7 leads really nice to that C chord, and that's what they hugely take advantage of right here when you go from the verse to the chorus, right? So it's like. Stop on that chord and you get and the B minor you can always hammer on that, but he actually does it on the 3rd string. We don't hammer on, he hits it. Right, and then when you do that, you already got here and here, you got 2 of the 4 fingers you need down for B7. Part of the reason he probably did that, maybe B7, he's a good guitar player, so I doubt this is the case. But for sometimes, somebody writes a song and they're having a struggle with a new chord, and they do some kind of iteration to get that next chord fingered, quickly. But I just think it sounds cool. I think he did it more for musical reasons than for physiological reasons, because I think Felder's a good guitar player. It wouldn't have been an issue for him to go from E minor shape to B7 shape. So I'm on the first down at the bottom. And if, again, you can go to the Discord. I put the link there for the Discord. If you go to Tom's PDFs and lessons and stuff, these pings are there. They're not named. I just did screenshots so you can see the screen. It says screenshot taken this date, whatever. So, but yeah, if you blow it up, you can see the fingerings there. The A2 you could play with these 2 fingers if you wanted, but I kind of always, this is more natural because you're thinking the D shape. You're thinking, and I never hear them go to that note there. So they're pretty consistent with playing an A2 chord, but maybe they go to that, but I just don't hear it. And you can do that climb from the E shape to get to the G shape also. I also think you can do that. I think I hear that at some point in the song. I think somebody does it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can say that, but I can't say that, Sam. Thank you. Yeah, anytime you're going to buy something, use my... I'm buffering. I'm seeing it as buffering, so I apologize. Anytime that I... here it goes again. Anytime you're going to Sweetwater or Amazon, go ahead and click on those links and do your shopping. Then I get a little love for that. So I appreciate that. Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see. That's right. Eagles are one of the worst ones at this. Got my laptop out or something. I might go, okay, I'll add one ad that you can click past every 30 minutes. Okay. So if I talk for 2 hours, I'm almost 2 hours, and you might see 5 ads or 4 ads if you watch the whole thing. Yeah, it's buffering bad. Sorry. It's green now on my end, so we should be good. But it was dipping down into the red, which is bad. So it's got green, yellow, orange, red, and it was down in the red. So I think we're good. Probably Russian bots. Yeah, Don Henley's buffering me. Yeah, exactly. Is Don Henley still alive? They've been kind of dropping, right? Let's see. I can't see this. Oh, Don Felder's the one. I think Don Felder was like the main writer on this. Don Felder's the one that's passed away, I think. He was terminated from the band. Maybe not. Maybe it was Don Henley's song. Let me see. Composition. No, it was an instrumental developed by Don Felder. Okay, that makes sense. So it says demo of the instrumental was developed by Don Felder in a rented house on Malibu Beach. He recorded basic tracks with a Rhythm Ace drum machine and added 12-string guitar. I wonder, could I live in Malibu? Could I live on the ocean? I don't know. I like visiting and I like the sound, but I don't know if I could hear that sound all the time. Most people that have houses in Malibu, it's not their main source of residence. If it is, they're living high up on one of the hills there, and then and so I don't think they hear the ocean. They hear the wind. I don't know. Could you live on the beach? I'm not a big fan of, because there's two groups of people that populate beaches, you know, the LA, California expensive beaches, and I'm talking like Laguna Beach and Malibu and stuff. It's the uber rich and the uber poor. I don't have anything in common with either one of them. So it's like, who would I hang out with? I guess hang out with the only people I hang out with anyway. It's you guys. You guys are my hang. So what can I say? So hopefully you've got enough. Okay, good. You got YouTube Premium. I need to do that, but it's $15 a month, isn't it? Like, yeah. Can they just take it out of my royalties? Maybe I won't notice it then. So do you all have enough to work with here? I think there's enough to work with. Like I said, it's verse. Do the verse progression twice, chorus, verse twice, chorus. I think maybe a double chorus, and then it goes to guitar solos, and that's the verse chord progression. So that's the song. It's really, form-wise, it's very simple. Melodically, it's very simple. And you know, I was kind of, I wasn't dissing the melody. I was just saying that the melody is very simple, and it's very neighbor tony, right? If we were to map it out, do I have the lyrics anywhere still? Oh, here they are. There we go. So far, it's only 2 notes. Still. So now we got 4 notes. It's only pentatonic at this point. But until we get to the last 2 words of the first phrase, so we've got on a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair, warm smell of colitas, rising up through, I don't know what colitas smells like. I probably do, I just didn't know it was colitas. Rising up through oh, it's air. It's actually the last word, and it's just a lick. So that may contribute to its popularity because it's very singable, right? Oh, Jay, thank you. God bless you so much. I appreciate that. Like I said, I think that money they don't touch. So if they don't let me monetize this video, I still get the super chat money. All right, I appreciate it. So that may be part of the reason why the song was popular, because it's very easy to sing. And I know that's a lot. Like I said, songs that are fairly easy to play on guitar often get popular because people are like sitting around campfire playing. What song is that? Oh, that's this. Oh, it's a new song by so and so. Oh, it's cool. You know. So that kind of happened a bit. But there's did Jay have a question? I didn't see Jay quite. But so then it goes. See. I saw a shimmering light. My hand. Yeah, aside from that one time it goes down to the B note, there, it's 3 notes for the verse. There she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell. I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven, this could be hell. Oh, speaking of mission bells, check out, if you ever come to California, Riverside's not one of those locations you want to go to, but check out the Mission Inn. It is gorgeous. Beth and I have stayed there many times. It is freaking gorgeous. And he has, the guy that built it, he was like a poor brick mason, and he just started building his own hotel with bricks. And he started with like a 4-room hotel, and he kept adding to it, and he ended up with a Mission Inn. It's freaking gorgeous. And he collected mission bells. So he's got, I think, the world's largest collection of mission bells from all over the country, all over the world. No, it's not on Discord. It's on just any of my YouTube videos. Joseph, if you go to the other info, then and I've posted links in these things, super chat and in the chats. Yeah, right. Oh, Roxanne B. Yeah. Do the bass. Boom, boom. Oh, wait. In the air. Do the and 1, 2 for the bass part. But yeah, very, very simple melody. So I think that, but also it shows you can solo over this with 3 notes. You could, or even add the root. I think the root would be a nice note to add. But I could solo over this with just, with just 3 notes. I should have the chord progression. 74. All right. All right, let's see, I just got to throw a piano in here. Hold on. So I'm going to Logic. I'm just going to add a regular, just a Logic piano. I don't know, need to go crazy here. Okay. So we have B minor. I'm going to take this quieter, make this louder. Where does it go to? G? It's G, E minor. Not F sharp 6. That's too jazzy. And I can put a 7th here. Okay, so let me quantize that. Boy, I was pretty spot on for that slow tempo. All right, so now I can loop this. Wait, what the heck? What chord is that? No, that's not what I wanted. Oh no, it's not that. What the heck? What happened? All right. Okay, that's not, I don't want that. So, what did I do? There's this, okay, so then I add this. There we go. Okay, I got it. And I want to do this. I don't know why, but let's see how I'm doing with the tone or levels. Way too loud, way too gainy. Clean it up. Sorry about that. Apologies. The delay's okay. Just don't think it needs, maybe if I get rid of this gain altogether. Too much delay. I go a lot. Wow, that's still wet. All right. So, without actually playing the chord progression, I don't need to. Here's the enable. You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and put a beat in there because otherwise I'll be way ahead. That's just my nature. So let me put a quick little drum beat in here. I'm in Logic. I'm gonna click on New Track. I'm clicking on Create Drummer. I'll use a rock sound maybe. See what happens here. See what this sounds like. That's not right. Okay, let me quantize all this to quarter notes. There we go. That would have thrown me off anyway if I didn't know. Well, I would have noticed it, but dang. Okay, so where are you all? Oh, here you are. Okay, we're getting sidetracked. Oh, I'm not enabled here. Hold on. Still a little bit on the hot side compared to the track. Okay, now I'm missing a little bit of gain. I feel like I need more gain. I like a lot of gain, sadly, so it's... All right. So yeah, the you can really see where it's a lot of fun to play over because there's just so many key centers going through, and I would not. So Sam, if I were soloing over this, I would not think of the different scales. Okay, just so you know, I would probably think of B minor, pentatonic. Okay, let me get my windows up. So I would probably think B minor, pentatonic, and then make subtle changes to accommodate any weird chords. You know. Like when the E comes up. But you can kind of get away with a lot of. You're gonna overthink it if you try to think about the. I'm gonna be in B harmonic minor for the first two chords, and then I'm gonna be in B Dorian for the next two chords, and then I'm gonna be in B Lydian for the, or B Aeolian for the next two, things like if you think like that, you're probably not gonna come up with anything it's just gonna sound like a bunch of scales or something, which you could totally do. I mean, but you don't really you can't hear the chord progression go through. So if I do something where I'm like, check this out, I'm just going to play real B minor pentatonic over here. I just made that one little accommodation for that A sharp. Now you know where you are in the progression. So you can hear the chords go by there. So I was playing kind of a D lick, but I was really kind of playing an A on top, so I'm accommodating that A chord. Now I'm going to like an E chord right there. And that's those six. Those are very country sounding to me. Also Spanish. Okay, if I were to play flamenco guitar or a Spanish song, I might play a lot of sixths or thirds are really common too. Like a just a great song. It could be one of the ones on there is the El Paso. That song El Paso is such a great song and great guitar licks on it. I forget, that wasn't Tommy Tedesco, I don't think. Who played the guitars on El Paso? But I know it's not Tommy Tedesco, but it's I play every day, all day for, gosh, yeah, Bruce, it's been 52 years. But I was playing in a band when I was 18 that was a really good band. So I was good at 18. So took me 9 years to get to that point, maybe 8 years of a lot of practicing. But yeah, so if I were to approach this, if I were to solo over this, and the solo that's on there is so iconic, right? So if I were to play this song live, if ever, with a band, I would learn the solos. I already know them. I would probably memorize them. I don't have them memorized right now, but if it were just I was doing a gig and this was or a session and this song hadn't been released and no one had ever heard it of someone kept saying Stairway to Heaven of Hotel California, then I would be the first one to solo over it. So I might I'd think about how do I want to approach this. And almost always simpler is better, blues based, or pentatonic is better based, but you can still be interesting without without being boring. You can still just by accommodating a couple notes, really keep that chord progression. People hear that chord progression. You want them to be able to sing your solo. If I were to do something where, where I do something like that, and then I get to the. And I get to the G and D chords, and I go. I get to the E minor and F7. I get, no one's gonna sing that solo. That's an awful solo. It's flashy, but this is not like a race. I always joke with the band. I'll say, "Hey, okay, who can get to the end of the song first? On your mark, get set, go." It's kind of like play as fast as you can. And it's not. You want to create something. You really, your goal if you're playing a guitar solo, unless you're like your records are all shredder records, right? If you're Joe Satriani, maybe, or Steve Vai or someone like that, even Eric Johnson, But if you're in a band and you want to create a solo that people are gonna, you want to create a solo people are gonna sing and be able to sing along with and treat it almost like that. And I don't know that anyone really sings along with the Hotel California solo. Right? What was it? Right there. Right? That's a great idea. And he's outlining this. Those are just the chords, right? B minor, B, D, and F sharp. And then doing an F7, F sharp 7. Then sliding up to the third, which is a great, and then it goes to A triad. Almost sounds like a classical piece, right? If I played that on a classical guitar, be like, so what do I want? What am I doing? Yeah. I want that. Okay, so I'm good. Go to the A, to the E, and then just keep going on. And that may be how he wrote the song. Think about it. think about it. So if I look at this chord progression, watch. Might have been trying to write a new Stairway to Heaven. Oh, wait a minute. 76? Wow. Yeah, that was after Stairway to Heaven. Yeah. Right? So I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of how he came up with it. Because if you look at the bass line, I'm just going down chromatically until I get to the E minor. Right? So I could do... yeah. Villa Lobos. Maybe do something like this. What is it called? Do a Roomba. Do it like a Roomba. I mean, it's a great chord progression. It's a phenomenal chord progression. Of all the songs we've learned so far, it's probably the coolest chord progression. Hey, Reed, what's going on? Yeah, I'm kind of pseudo flamenco, pseudo Roomba, kind of Gypsy Kings vibe. If the Gypsy Kings were to do, I bet you the Gypsy Kings have done Hotel Cali. What do you want to bet? Let me pull it up. And Gypsy Kings spells it's G-I-P, not G-Y, right? Gypsy Kings. Yeah. Hotel. They did. Yep. Yeah, I knew they had. I think it's in the Big Lebowski, actually, isn't it? I think the Gypsy Kings version of Hotel California is in the Big Lebowski. Oh, hey, Will Power, what's going on? Oh, you haven't. Let's see. Wait. Oh, now Will. Wait, Holly. Will's. Who's Will? Let's see. Will. Oh, I just saw you now, Will. Sorry. No, wait. You worked on Apex Legends. Yes. Not to derail, but as I want to be sound designer and composer in games, it's awesome to hear you've worked on games as well. Yeah, I work on a lot of games. Games kept me going through COVID. I mean, it was one of the things where everybody's sitting around playing games, and boy, like EA and Respawn and a lot of the gaming companies, they didn't lose a minute. I mean, I think EA within 48 hours of California shutting everything down. I mean, you couldn't have off. Nothing could be open. It was unbelievable. I mean, except grocery stores, pharmacies, restaurants were closed. Everything, Starbucks, everything. Drive-through only on Starbucks. It was a huge pain in the butt. And but EA within 48 hours, they had their tech teams like setting everyone up in their home so they could work from home. And so they didn't lose a beat. So yeah, I've played all the guitars on Apex. I just did a video just did a video this week, horribly viewed, like 300 views. It's so depressing. I spent so much time on that stupid video, editing mostly. Like filming it, I maybe filmed an hour and a half, which makes it even worse. Like an hour and a half of footage, and then I edited it down to about I think I got down to 35, 38 minutes, something like that. I use an iMac for mine. A lot of people use MacBooks. If you get a MacBook Pro, you know, the other thing is if you're doing a lot of composing, you're probably going to want to have like a slave system where you're using what's called, and I don't have it, because I work on games. I don't compose so much. I'm doing a little bit of composing on games, but
Vienna Ensemble, and then you have PC that has all your samples on it, because PCs are super cheap. You can make your own PCs that are designed for one purpose, and that's just to have all your samples, all your string libraries, all your horn libraries, all your bass libraries, all your synth libraries, all your everything libraries, choir libraries. Some people have 40 different string libraries worth, $100,000. It's unbelievable, but they'll have just a ton of stuff. They'll have 40 string libraries and they're all ready to go, and you just load it, and instead of having to wait for these gigabytes and gigabytes of audio to load onto your computer, it's already ready to go on a PC. So a lot of people do that, but I'm a dudist priest. Is that a Lobosky quote? I forgot about that. But yeah, I like using iMac. I've got the iMac Pro, which I'm waiting for the new one to come out. They haven't even announced that they're going to do it. The iMac is 24 inches. I'm kind of blind, so I need a bigger screen. So the 27-inch iMac Pro is great, but I wouldn't recommend getting the iMac Pro now as it is, because if you go to macrumors.com, you can see kind of the buyer's guide. You can see, don't buy this because they're coming out with a new one in 6 months or 4 months or 2 months or 3 days or whatever. You'll have like three: green, yellow, or red. It's like green means, yeah, good to go. I just bought a new iBook Pro, and it was green, and so that buys you an extra year of usability if you buy it when it's green. If you buy it when it's red, it means it's already kind of a dated machine, and you might want to wait until they're coming out with a new one. So I'm waiting. Like, as soon as they come up with iMac Pro, I'm ordering one. And I'm probably going to spend some coin on it because I'm going to want it loaded. But the new the M1 chip, that's the processor, it handles RAM completely differently. So you don't need to have like 128 gigs of RAM. You can get away with a lot less RAM with the new M1 chip for some reason. Don't ask me to explain it. I don't know. Yes, the Apex soundtrack can be found on Spotify. Yeah, and I think I'm listed as a composer on a lot of that stuff. Not the composer, but I think Stephen Barton, who's the composer, he gives me I don't know what percentage. I've never seen anything from it, but he gives me a little bit of that love. So I get taken care of well just to play on all that stuff. So. Yeah, and so I work with, for games, I work with Jason Graves, who does a lot of stuff, and also Austin Wintry, who did Journey, if you're familiar with game scores. He actually, I think, is the only game score nominated for Best Soundtrack Grammy. He didn't win it. He was up against John Williams, which is pretty darn cool. I forget what Williams score he was up against, but yeah, he got nominated for that. That was pretty dope. I wasn't on that, though. Journey was orchestra and solo cello. But I've worked with Austin. Gosh, how long have I worked with Austin? 12 years, maybe? We go back quite a ways, maybe 2010, 2009? I'd have to pull up credits to see, but yeah, Willpower, stick with it, man. There's a lot of gaming companies, so, and their appetite for music is pretty voracious. I'm also working on, I think I can say now, but I was working on Star Wars. I'm working on Picard, which is not a game, it's a TV show. But I work on Star Wars a little bit. So yeah, Journey, the game was chill. It's one of those games where it's like, I don't play video games. It's too much shooting and running over hookers, which is what Grand Theft, that's all my kids ever want to do with Grand Theft Auto. Just run over hookers, So, and we didn't have it, so they would play it at friends' house, or I had a neighbor that had it. We would go over there and watch him play it. He would just anyway, it was funny. But no, Journey is a really kind of meditative, very zen game. If you play Journey, you're just controlling this character and you're picking up things and you're going through a desert. And the music is freaking. That's why I got nominated, and music plays a huge part in it. And I'm telling you, like, will a movie may have 100 minutes of music, maybe, or 120 minutes of music. but a game, could have could have 600 to 700 minutes of music. So you're scoring a ton of music. So I've only done a little bit on Star Wars. I don't know how much more I'll do on that. I'm not sure. It's kind of not in my hands. I'm not the one writing it. So you're 45 and you're GTA. Yeah. It's that game is hilarious. I don't even have a gaming console. Okay, Kathy, so great to see you. Yeah, and these screen caps are over at the Discord link. If you go to my Tom's PDFs and what's it called? Where is it? Here it is. Ah, sorry, everybody's on. Quiet. I gotta pull away from. Okay, so anyway, I should probably get going. It's getting late, and I've been on here for 2 hours change. People are still hanging around now. What do we get? What do we peak at? They didn't get that high. 36. So, Mr. Song number 5 is Hotel California. I think I have a song picked out already for next week. So I'm kind of alternating between easy-ish acoustic songs and easy-ish electric songs. So I think I have a song picked out for next week, which could easily be played on acoustic guitar. But I haven't decided yet. I may change or save that song for later. There's no end to the songs we can learn. That's for sure. So, yeah, Sam, take care, everybody. Thank you also, AJ. Thank you for the super chat. Who was that? Well, Joseph, thank you for yours. Buy me coffee. Who was that? Oh, Jay. Yeah, Jay jumped in. But I didn't see Jay making any comment. Oh, there he is. Okay. Oh, you have Uber 2 Premium. Yeah. And yet you still pay for me. I appreciate that. Larry Byrne, what days are you on? Oh, just Monday at 9 to 11. But I leave all the chat up, and I leave, you can watch it during the week anytime you want, but you won't be able to interact with me, obviously. So just for a couple hours on Monday, I was doing 7 days a week when when lockdowns went into place, because I was kind of concerned about work and everything, but that didn't pan. Work just got busier. And then I was 3 days a week, and I probably have said 3 days a week on a couple videos, and people are confused. But I'm just doing 1 day a week now. So Mondays, 9 Pacific. Typically, I'm on for a couple hours. And right now we're doing, but you can go back and watch so many videos. We've talked about so many subjects. And if I click on those old videos, people are still watching them. So, maybe 2 or 3, 4 or 5 views per 48 hours. So it's not like those aren't still like an annuity, but making me money down the road. So that's kind of part of the reason why I do it. So, noon Eastern time. I don't know where you are, but join the Discord, Will. That'd be great. And there is also there's a Discord that talks about Apex, if you're into Apex, and that's, I think, Ritz King. I joined that one just because I played music on it, and they were cool about it, me promoting my videos. But that video hasn't got much views. But if you watch that video, you can see kind of how I work with, in this case, Stephen Barton. Everybody's different. So, oh, great, awesome, Larry. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, next week we'll learn another song. We're going to be in the 60s, 70s, 80s, maybe some 90s. I may do some more modern songs. Who knows? We'll play it by ear and have some fun. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, and take care. God bless you all. Be safe and enjoy the rest of this week. It just started. But enjoy it. Have a good time. Love what you do. Find joy in everything you do, and be with people as much as you can. Oh, Larry, you're in BC. I love British Columbia. Gorgeous. Gorgeous. Love Vancouver. I was up there. I just loved it. I haven't been in the wilds of BC. I wish I could. At some point, I want to take Beth up there, because when I was in Vancouver, it was for work, and I really loved it. And I have a very good friend up in Vancouver. So he's a songwriter, guitar player, amazing guitar player, amazing magician, serious professional magician, like produced Chris Angel's Mind Freak show. He was the creator of all those tricks. So he's an amazing guy. Paul, good to see you. Thank you so much. I miss you, friend. And someday we'll jam again, right? Yeah, if you start it, yes, you might know. You might know. The chord progression gives it away. If you can't get the picking pattern down, if you can just strum the chords and get the chords down, at some point people go, wait, I know what that is. Whereas so many chord progressions don't do that. That's what makes this a really good song, I think, is that you can do it in so many different styles and everybody knows what it is. So, all right. Oh, hey, great stream. Thanks a lot. You're welcome, Metal Gaming. Oh, hey, let it be light. What the heck? Where have you been all my life? Thank you for that. All right, so we'll, oh, shoot, what's his name still here? He was asking me about leading worship. I'll tell you, just on a side note, and this applies to anything, anytime you're playing in front of people, if you've got your worship set, if it's 3 or 4 songs, if you're singing all of them, let's say you're doing like a small church and you're doing 4 songs and it's all your responsibility, man, just know those, just do songs you know. Like songs you can do forwards, backwards, inside and out, because you're going to be nervous. Your voice is going to be, you're going to be shaking. Your hands are going to be shaking. You're going to be nervous. You may forget to plug your guitar in. There's going to be a lot of, if you're doing something, you can remove 90% of the problem if you are doing songs that are, Joseph, stop it. we need to do a campaign for you, Joseph, so you can get your teeth fixed. And so 90% of the freak out thing is really just not being familiar with going up there. I've gone up on stage and led songs I wasn't familiar enough with, and it oftentimes was like a train wreck. Fortunately, I would have really good singers around me, so if I was like having trouble with a melody or words or something, I could pull off the mic and let them take it. But you don't want to do that. If you're the leader, you got to stick with it. So yeah, try to stick with songs you know, songs you don't have to look at words if you can do. I always had the words in front of me just because it was a crutch. I haven't led worship since like 2006, but I basically think that it's real important if you know the songs really well. And I would, in my head, mentally, and part of the reason because I was just so freaking scared to be up there. I would close my eyes and just imagine myself at the foot of the cross and playing for an audience of one. You could, my church, it's 10,000 members. We have 3,500 seat arena. When you get up there to do sing, you could be in front of 3,500 people, plus people online, plus people, in other rooms watching on TVs and stuff like that. And so it can be very intimidating. So if you can close your eyes and just imagine an audience of one, not like singing for God isn't intimidating, right? If you really, truly imagine you're singing for God, I think I would be like, oh, I'll see you later. I'm going to go over there. I'm not gonna. But that was kind of my thing. I was so scared. The only way I was going to get through it was if God held my hand through the whole thing. So that's kind of how I led worship, and it worked for me for the years I did it. Just basically helping out churches that needed help. It wasn't ever my vocation, but a lot of churches had issues where the worship leader left to move out of town. I had one that at my church, it was the worship leader got throat cancer of all things. So they asked me to sub for 2 weeks, and that turned into 2.5 years. So, and I'm still there. So anyway, God bless you, Joseph. It's funny. What's the name of the church? Oh, it's in Los Angeles, Porter Ranch, the Valley. It's called Shepherd Church, and I play there. And Alex, my son, plays with me too every Saturday and Sunday. So we do 3 services every weekend, and Alex is there most every weekend. I'm pretty much always there. The only weekend I got the weekend before Easter off, which is nice because they're doing the Passion Play and it's all tracks that maybe I played on. I think I played on some of the tracks. But so I got the weekend off, which is nice. But yeah, generally I'm almost always there. So, all right. Well, you guys take care. Sorry to prattle on there, but I forget who asked the question. It was some Pringle or something like Pringle asked a question about leading worship, and I don't remember. I think it was something like that. So it was too far back for me to really hunt for. And we'll have a new song on Monday. I'm not planning on going on during the week. I don't have a video to drop this week, but I may. I've got a couple ideas. I need to do 7 more tips for older, parentheses, all beginners. So I may, oh, we got another Russian bot. Oh, there's Bingo. There you are. Thank you, French. Oh, okay. I answered the question initially. Oh, okay. Well, yeah. So I don't know. It's your first time, so you're going to be scared. Just keep it simple, man. Don't do anything. Don't try to impress anybody. Just keep it simple, and try to get that and go over it a bunch and by yourself. Practice standing up. 100%. This is a mistake that everyone makes, especially worship leaders. Okay, so when you're playing guitar and you're sitting down, look at all this space between the guitar and my body, right? Or even if I touch it like this, it's like, oh, cool, no problem. I can do anything. As soon as you stand up and you got that start, you're set standing up multiple times. You're going to get tired, but that's endurance that you're going to need for actually doing the gig. If assuming you have legs, and I don't want to assume that, but most people do. So if you can stand while when you're leading worship, then stand and practice. Oh yeah, I got a notification that it was buffering. Sorry, but let's see. It's right now it says good. Sorry about that. So, so that's I would practice all. You're set. Get it down and practice standing up. Practice if you can set up a mic, even if it's not hooked to anything, that you can push your lips into and practice singing and keeping your lips on the mic. One other thing too, when you're singing lyrics, try to keep the words at the front of your mouth. Don't talk. Don't sing back here. You want to sing at the front of your mouth. Get those for articulation purposes, so people can understand what you're saying. Okay. That's one of the tricks too, is to try to speak at the front of your mouth. So many people are now saying "speak." That's a good show. It's Holy Spirit, and it's like, no, it's spirit, but it's because you're letting the words fall from the back of your mouth instead of in the front of your mouth. And so you got to stay on it. So yeah, hit the like button. Sure, why not? Okay, Sam. Sorry, I didn't mean to pick on you today. I hope you don't mind. I was picking on Sam all day. Steve Berry, thank you so much. Glitch in the Matrix. No, it's Don Felder or Don Henley or one of them stopping me from teaching this song. So I'll let you know if it stays monetized, okay? I think we're probably okay. Thank you for the coin, everybody. It really means a lot. And I will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.